Hold up.
I hope you're having a great day and I hope you're getting all set for the weekend. Today I want to talk about spirituality. I'm not a guru. I don't have too much to talk about the scriptures and stuff like that. I like reading them. I like reading scriptures from different religion because when you read them with an open mind, there's always some wisdom. There's some message that you can take away. But over the last 9 years, my practice dealing with different diseases from simple to deadly, spending hours and hours with end-of-life patients, terminally ill patients, you learn. You learn a lot about life. You learn a lot about suffering and all of that stuff. And it keeps, a lot of people on their deathbeds, or a lot of people who are terminally ill. We all just think people are scared of dying. But people really aren't really that scared of dying. There's a fear beyond that. And in compassionate spirituality, which is what we practice with our patients, and you start to talk to them, let me tell you some of the most frequently asked questions by dying patients or patients who get a disease that could eventually lead to death. We don't know. They have questions like, where am I going to go from here? What happens when I die? Will my family be looked after? Will people still love me? Will people remember me? Is there a God who's going to look after me? Is this my chapter of life? Does it end completely? So different religions and different, spiritual paths try to answer this. And that's why having a religious path or a spiritual path, like I said, you don't have to be religious, but spiritual paths can really help us to understand life. Although no one has the right or the completely right answer, there are a lot of wrong answers, but no one really knows. But with understanding, we learn so much, and that's why spirituality can ground us. Now, the spirituality that I'm talking about today, there are different paths and different spiritual leaders and all of that stuff, full respect for them. I'm not talking about any of that today. The kind of spirituality I'm talking about is one fundamental. And if you understand this fundamental of spirituality, all the other spiritual paths will now start to have a little bit more meaning. Because, like I've said in my previous videos, you can have exercise fads, you can have nutrition fads, you can have meditation fads, all of that. Spirituality has also become a fad in such a big way. What do I mean by this? People constantly embrace parts of spirituality. They feel good when they're reading something. They feel good when they hear something, but no one's really putting it into practice. They're just feeling good, but going back to their same lives, not implementing what spirituality teaches them or what their path teaches them. A lot of people observe spirituality in guilt as well. They've done some bad things or some wrong things, and they think by being spiritual, they feel a little bit better about themselves. You notice in all religions, people go, they pray, but they don't change. They don't move away from the things which they know are intentionally wrong. They don't move away from evil. They don't do all of that stuff. But coming back to spirituality, whatever path you are choosing, remember one thing about spirituality. Spirituality involves your spirit, the connection that you have with your spirit. And my first fundamental of spirituality is you. Remember this and reflect this. You are a gift of life. Whatever you believe, whether you believe in God, you believe in the higher powers, you believe in the universe, that's up to you. That's your choice. But you are a gift. You are a gift of God, of the universe, of a higher vibration, the cosmic, whatever it is. Okay? What happens with gifts? If you're given an expensive gift, you don't look after it, the gift gets spoiled. You have a particular gift which you don't use, you just leave it there in the corner, it starts to wear out, maybe it gets a little bit of mold, it gets a little bit of fungus, and eventually it starts spoiling. When you are given a gift of life, without the gift of life, you're dead, you don't live. Without the gift of life, you can't do certain things. You can't enjoy life, you can't do all of these things. So you are a gift. The first fundamental of spirituality is, how do you look after this gift? How do you treat this gift? How do you respect this gift? Forget about everything else. Spirituality is super fancy. Everyone's trying to be kind. Everyone's trying to be good. Everyone's trying to help one another. What about you? Spirituality starts with yourself. You cannot respect other people if you don't know how to respect yourself. You can try to, you can pretend to. You can't be kind to other people if you don't know how to be kind to yourself. You can pretend to, you can act to. And that's why a lot of people out there trying to be kind, trying to be good, it's so difficult. They find it so difficult because you're trying to build something, okay, out of your good intentions, which you cannot maintain because you've not practiced it with yourself. First, be kind to your gift of life. First, start to respect your gift of life. The people who say, I don't care about myself, I live only once and all of that stuff, because they disrespect themselves. These people find it very difficult to respect other people. If you have a casual attitude towards this intelligent gift that is working for you every second of the day and night, you'll take that same casual attitude to everyone. So if you don't care about your health, why will you care about your kids' health, your partner's health, or people around you? Organizations that are led by CEOs and managing directors who don't care about their personal health, they don't care about the health of their employees. They don't care about if their employees burn out and all of that stuff. So you see, you can take whatever spiritual path you want. You can immerse yourself into deep scriptures and read and all of that stuff and feel good. But when you look yourself in the mirror and you realize that it's not started with you, you know you're living a lie. You know right then. That's why you don't feel fulfilled. And that's why some people chase spirituality more and more, looking for that fulfillment, looking for that meaning. That meaning will start first with you nurturing your gift of life, which is your body. That amazing creation, which no one can replicate. That amazing you, which is unique. No one can be like you. You can't be like anyone else. So much of intelligence in this beautiful gift of life. So, you know, a lot of people operate from a space of pleasing other people because they want to be loved, because they want to be appreciated, they want to feel important. They go out pleasing everyone, becoming doormats, putting themselves down, putting other people up on pedestals, but they keep burning out because they've not learned to do it with themselves first. So whatever part of spirituality you are on, if it doesn't include the gift of life, respecting this beautiful body, the physical part, the emotional part, the mental part, the intellectual part, the spirit, your core being. Everything outside is just a show. This may hurt you. This may seem very blunt, but the truth is the truth, and the truth usually hurts. You know, a lot of people, oh, I do pujas, I go to the church, I go to the mosque, I do all. Please do that. Do that, but when are you going to start practicing the essence of respecting the gift that God has given you? Or the universe, or the higher vibration, or whatever it is. If you can't respect the very gift that you're given, what makes you think you can do it with other people? And that's why people find it so hard to love other people. People find it so hard to respect. They have to put so much of effort. Because if you can't do it with yourself, you cannot do it with other people. And that's why I repeat, people who get into relationships, okay, to get only love from other people, not to compliment, because they don't know how to love themselves. And when your partner changes or one fine day they don't give you love, you crumble emotionally, it's your fault. You never go incomplete to someone else. You try to fulfill yourself, and then people can compliment you. Okay, you learn to love yourself before you fall in love. And you make it someone else's job to love you and fill up all of your gaps that you need to fill. Okay, you can't get respect from other people if you don't respect yourself. The day someone stops respecting you, your self-respect kicks in. You don't care. You don't care if 10 people disrespect you. You know how to move out because you still have your self-respect. But if you don't know how to respect yourself, you cling on to those relationships of disrespect because you have nothing else. So people who are scared to get out of toxic relationships, it's because they've not learned how to fulfill themselves. They've outsourced the responsibility of fulfillment to someone else. It's no one's job to fulfill you. People can fill up gaps in your life, voids in your life. They can be there. They can give you compassion, empathy, kindness, gifts, love in simple ways. But unless you learn how to respect your own gift of life, it's always going to be a struggle. So spirituality starts off with you respecting and nurturing the gift of life, which is your health, which is you, which is every single part of you. The moment you start finding yourself abusing yourself with alcohol, note that I said abusing and misusing. Alcohol is never the problem. The problem is with the person behind the bottle. There are millions of people who have sensible drinking habits and it doesn't affect their health, it doesn't affect their relationships, it doesn't affect any part of their life. There are people at the age of 96 having 2 drinks a day, happy, healthy, and all of that stuff. So is the problem alcohol, or is the problem the person behind it? Their attitude, their behavior to misuse it and abuse it. So when you constantly find yourself misusing and abusing this gift of life through sleep deprivation, filling yourself up with junk, knowing it's bad, not feeling happy, even the junk food stops making you feel happy, abusing your body by not moving it, abusing your body by not giving it rest, abusing your physical and emotional state of mind by staying stuck in negativity. You are causing abuse. Yes, someone else has caused the problem for you. Like you, everyone's going through problems. You think your problems are the worst? There'll be other people around you, maybe in your own close circle, who have it worse than you. So you got to move out of victim mode. And you got to say that I'm not entitled to anything. Today are my days of struggle. I'll go through it. I'll come out of it gracefully. Only when your happy days are there, you feel life is fair to you. And when you have unhappy days, you start blaming life and complaining about life. No, life is life. You're just going through a different phase right now. So coming back to spirituality, don't make it a fad in your life. If you are following spirituality blindly by not nurturing the gift of life that you've been given, it's going to be taken away from you. It's going to be taken away from you at some given point. You are a vehicle on this planet. You have so much of talent, so much of goodness, whatever. How are you going to use this gift of life to spread your light in the world? But instead, people have one flaw and they forget about all the goodness they have. Oh, I'm so fat. I got belly fat. No one's going to love me. I feel miserable. I'll feel only happy when my belly fat goes. You're literally ungrateful for the other gift of life that you have, which is your health. Imagine someone who doesn't care about weight. All they want is their cancer to go. Or imagine the person who's blind. They don't care about how they look. They just want to see different colors. But we are so ungrateful. That's when we moved away from our spirit, because we're focused on all these little things, because we're not connected with our spirit. So the first step, the first fundamental, you can pretend to be spiritual. Every day, put your mat out, worship the sun, chant, say your prayers, all of that stuff. But without practice, you know you're fooling yourself. And that's why you don't feel complete. You don't feel fulfilled. Despite being spiritual, you're still trying to find meaning in life. Meaning in life is there right now for you to see. You just got to remove the clouds, the prisons that you built in front of you, and you got to start being real, living your authentic self. It's difficult, but not impossible. And it starts, spirituality starts with you learning to respect the gift of life, which is your body, your mind, your heart, everything to do with this beautiful gift of life that you've been given. And someday in life, you'll find yourself in a position or an opportunity to bring out another gift in life in the form of a child. And you need to teach them the same things. Today, most people, they practice gratitude every night and journals, but the moment they look in the mirror, they hate themselves. They step on the scale, they hate themselves. Right then, you're being ungrateful to your core being. Your gratitude journal is nothing but waste. So you got to be real with your gratitude as well. Gratitude as well. Yeah, you don't like the fat on your body, put an action plan and get rid of it. But that doesn't mean you start hating your body. That doesn't mean you start negatively saying, I wish I had someone. The moment you say, I wish I had someone else's body, you've rejected your gift of life. You've rejected your core self for the want of something else. And that is the biggest form of ingratitude. You got to remember these things. Everyone thinks gratitude, visualization, all these simple things, and everyone practices it and it doesn't fulfill them because they've not gone deeper. They're still stuck at the superficial, level of, journal, pretty journal, nice pen, nice stones around my desk. Let me write 3 beautiful things I'm grateful for. But it doesn't shift any energy in your body because you ain't doing it the right way. So we need to understand, whoever you are, anywhere in the world, it doesn't matter what your religion is, it doesn't matter who you are, what you have, what you've achieved, what you haven't. Your spirituality starts to build the moment you decide that you want to connect with your spirit and to look after this beautiful body that houses your spirit is what needs to be looked after as well. All of us look after our house. We want to keep our house clean. We want to make sure there's no dirt. You shout at your servants for keeping something unclean. You do that. What about yourself? What about yourself? Who's cleaning you? Who's cleaning you? You'll use all the cosmetics and the shower gels and the fancy stuff to clean the externals of you. What about the inside? And that is what spirituality is. When you start to look at your spirit, why do you feel disharmony? Why do you feel so much of negativity? Because you're not aligned. And the first step is, let me start looking after my body, moving it more, feeding it the right way, resting it the right way, observing what's happening inside and slowly starting to put a plan to look after that. That is core spirituality. Everything else follows after that. You can follow your spiritual path, but don't be a fraud. When you're deep in that spiritual part and you find yourself still abusing and misusing your body and all of that stuff, go back to step one, which is respect and nurturing the gift of life, which is your health and your body. Have a great weekend, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep, and remember, you care is all about you.